Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest for our 50th episode. That's right, the Trying to Be Grown podcast is on its 50th episode. I'm your host, Damani Carter. Over there is my good friend and esteemed co-host, Mr. Byron Keaton. And we have the one that needs no introduction, the most famous guest we have ever had. Miss Alexa, how are you?
I am good. How y'all doing?
We making it.
Really good.
It's good to hear. Thanks for having me on this little podcast. I'm excited. I've been waiting, and I'm excited to see what questions y'all have for me.
What you mean little podcast, dog? What you mean little podcast?
Big podcast.
I mean, it ain't not
exclusive.
We did pass 2,000 plays though on just the audio. On just the audio, that's 2,000 plays.
Y'all
so
lit.
That's big time for us. That's big time for us.
And it's y'all 50th episode.
Mm-hmm. Big 5-0. So we had to have somebody on that, you know, is going to reflect the magnitude of the occasion. Wherever you rocking with us, we appreciate you rocking with us. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and of course YouTube. Everything that we're going to speak about is going to be time stamped in the description. I'm not going to forget this time because I wrote it down.
Go ahead then.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I'll just go ahead give you the quick rundown right here. We're going to talk again about bringing somebody home for the holidays. Obviously, we got a new perspective on this, so we need to hear that. We're going to talk a little bit about her being a woman in a male-dominated music industry, and we're going to steal a little bit of her thunder right here. You had a poll on your Instagram. Should you tell a new partner about your past? Should you tell somebody that you starting to deal with about, you know, who you dealt with before? So it's gonna be a hard hitter. It's gonna be a hard hitter episode right here, man. Byron got some takes brewing that I'm kind of scared of, but we gonna.
No, I've been waiting.
I'm ready.
On my chest.
I'm ready for it.
I guess we're gonna see. So without further ado, I'm gonna just go ahead and jump right into it. We got a lot to talk about. Bringing somebody home for the holidays. Mm-hmm. Now we visited this once before. Byron talked about, you know, how some of y'all doing it too early, bringing somebody different home every year. Byron, do you want to update your stance any? Are you kind of in the same space?
Kind of in the same space. I don't remember exactly what I said, but don't bring your partner home a new partner home every year. At least y'all got to talk or date for whatever for at least 2 years before you even think about bringing them home. Maybe
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
In a
Maybe
sense,
if you're 35, it can switch up, but in your 20s, don't be bringing people home every year.
I mean, I feel like also, too, it just depends how involved y'all are with each other. I mean, you could be, like, head over heels with each other for, you know, a couple months, and you might be like, okay, like, they're the one for me, and you might want to bring them home. But I feel like 2 years is a good little gap, you know? But I feel like it just depends, because then if, like, y'all don't work out and you've had this person meet all your family and now you look crazy. So I think it definitely just depends on how deep y'all are and how invested y'all are with each other. I don't know, but I think 2 years is cool. I think, you know, after a year kind of being under the radar, and then 2 years, like, okay, I want them to meet my family. So I don't think 2 years is too bad. I think that's fair.
I think you got to be out of that honeymoon phase or whatever. Because typically like that first 6 to 9 months, everything is great. You don't have any problems. Then you start pushing around a year or so, things start popping up. Yeah. And at that point, they shouldn't be around the family yet.
No, okay. I think 2 years is good. I think 2 years is, I think that's a good little time span. I think in those 2 years, like, you might be talking about your person to your family and like, okay, you know, we've done this and that. And I think, you know, after that 2 years, it's like, okay, y'all can finally meet him. I think that's
okay.
fair.
Now let me ask this: does the proximity that you have, like, to your significant other's family matter in terms of, like, whether or not you over for the holidays. There's something different to say, all right, we're going to take this trip from Dallas to Phoenix to kick it with my family for the holidays versus, you know, we're in the same city, but we just not going to see each other on Christmas Eve because I'm going to be with my family and you're going to be with yours. Does that make a difference at all?
Like being in the same state, or y'all live
yeah,
like
I'm
y'all
saying like if my significant other's from 20 minutes from where I'm at and we're gonna be like 20 minutes from each other on Christmas and Christmas Eve, does that make a difference in like the time frame that it takes for you to be comfortable enough bringing them home versus if you know you taking them on a trip to go meet or not meet but just be with your family for the holidays?
I think taking someone on a trip to meet your family, I think that might be, I feel like to me that might be more serious because you're literally taking a whole trip with that person to a whole complete different state, and you know you're literally having to spend every single day together, whether then, you know, 20 minutes away, you know, they can go back to their house. And I feel like if you're traveling together, that's very telling whether or not if y'all travel together good and whether or not y'all can mesh well with traveling. Because a lot of times you might go on a trip with somebody and it's like nothing. It's not a good time because you kind of see who that person really is. But only being 20 minutes away, you can have y'all space and you not have to be underneath each other 24/7, like traveling. I think that's definitely matters and is different.
I 100% agree. And I think why it makes sense, but my reasoning for it is I think there needs to be a soft launch of meeting the parents before you meet everybody.
That's fair. That's in depth, like, yeah.
You shouldn't just meet the parents and all the cousins, aunts, nephews, nieces, everybody in the same day, in my opinion.
I would.
You should yeah. Because that's just too much. And then you're trying to hop in the pictures. And then also the first holiday, you can't hop in the picture. You cannot hop in the picture under any circumstances.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You got to take the picture of that trip. That's the picture. That's the one that you got to be behind the camera on.
For Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah,
for both.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. And then next year you can hop in the pictures. I feel like that's fair. But yeah, I think, I mean, sheesh, if we're traveling and you meet my family, I think it's proper to have a nice, you know, we can run by the house before, you know, the big dinner for Christmas and then or Thanksgiving. That way, you know, they can get comfortable instead of just being like, oh, hey, surprise, like here's this person and this person and this person. Because like, I feel like if someone introduced me to their whole family, I would be very intimidated. And, you know, it's very intimidating. I feel like it would be a lot of pressure because it's like you have 100 people trying to ask you questions and, you know, it might get uncomfortable a little bit. At least for me, I would feel like a lot of pressure. So I think a nice little lunch or, you know, we can go by the house once we land so you can meet my parents and go off of that. I think that'd be fair.
Now, side question, Alexa. What if one of the siblings, mom, aunt, someone calls you the wrong name, meaning like his ex? What do you do? Are you mad?
I would honestly I would try to like just brush over it like that didn't even happen. Like I would just try to like, you know, carry on the conversation like that didn't even happen. Like I don't know. I mean, geez. I mean, if a dude's mom called me a whole different girl's name, I would probably look at her crazy. Like, huh? Like I'd look at him like who? Like what? It would
Is
definitely
he gonna hear about it?
Do what?
Is he gonna hear about it later?
Oh yeah. I'd be like, you know, I'm like, you know, your mom called me a whole different girl's name, and you're probably gonna be like, oh, she didn't mean to. I'm like, oh, okay. But I think I would definitely like be like, hey, you know, your mom just called me someone else's name. But I feel like he would catch that too, and I don't know. I might not even say anything just to see if he says anything about it. just to see if he caught it.
I'm playing stupid. I'm playing so stupid.
Oh my god! I might like drop a hint, like just jokingly, like just drop a hint, and be like, "So, I'm so and so." I can go, who is that? I don't know who that is. Like, oh, okay, and just leave it at that. Oh, okay, and go about my business. Yeah, that's a tough one. But I would definitely play cool. Yeah, what happened to y'all? What y'all gonna do?
Oh, if a girl's mom calls me another guy's name, would I care? I don't think I would care.
Yeah, I don't think I would. But I think it's different for like, especially with like the mom, because I mean, just talking like typically, you know, we think about like mothers and their relationships with like their sons and how important they are to them. Like that's kind of, and it obviously it doesn't have to be this, but that could be indicative of, you know, I like the last one. Why you bringing, you know, somebody else home? You know, you should have stayed with old girl that I like. And I'm like I said, it don't have to be all that. And I'm sure if and when it would ever to happen, it probably wouldn't be. But you know, you kind of got that in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like we think about it that way, like in relation to like daughters and their like boyfriends, significant other males, whatever they be. So
you wouldn't bring it up later?
See, I'm dumb, so I probably I would joke about it, but I don't think I would. Honestly, I'm trying to think about if I would care, and of course I've never been in a situation, so I don't know. But I don't think it would be like a big thing to me. And like I said, I think that's just because of how we think about it. I think it's more of a slight to like a woman if your son's woman is over the house to call her the wrong name. I just think that's just kind of how we think about it. But right, wrong, or indifferent, I just don't think I would think about it kind of the same way, if that makes sense.
I might not care, but I'm gonna keep it in my back pocket for a rainy day.
Yeah, and that's the time. It's like hard at the same time to just like granted, like it was an accident, but it's just like, dang, like who all has met your mom? Like, why is she, you know, like mentioning another girl's name? Because you know, a lot of times, like I think men don't bring their any girl home just to meet their mom. So it's just like, damn, like you've called me a whole different girl's name. So like, who else have you brought to meet her? And why is she, like, why is the girl's name still irrelevant in her mind for her to call me her name? But I think I would definitely be like, I'm like, you know, your mom mentioned your ex's name, like who, like, you know, whatever. So I think I would definitely joke about it for sure.
See, it sounds like your joke's gonna be a little bit different than mine because you talk. I don't know if.
Well, it's gonna be a dry humor joke for sure.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's gonna be definitely a dry humor joke for sure. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be like a dry humor joke. I mean, like I'm not gonna like sit here and like just dwell on it all day and be like pissy, you know, because I mean at the end of the day, like it was an accident and like I'm here now, so like it doesn't even matter because it was like in the past, so I can't really sit here and just be irritated and pissy for the rest of the trip because then it just ruins the whole day and the whole weekend, you know, if we are traveling out of the country to not a country but a different state. So that's my opinion on that.
So is there like the possibility that the family could ick you? Like, is there something that like they could, like you could just, is there a possibility that you could like see him around the family and be like, oh dang, this ain't it. This ain't what I thought it was. Like, is there something that could happen in that space where you'd be like, yeah, I don't know about you anymore?
Yes and no. I feel like I think it just really depends because I think, I don't know, this is a hard question. I think it just really just depends because like he might be like weird or awkward around the family, but I don't want it to like change like my family's opinion to change how I feel about him. So like say if like they're just like, oh well he's this and he's that, I don't want that to like influence our relationship in a sense. So I feel like I mean, safety might not be a good fit, but I mean, we're two different people coming from two different family homes. So it's like, I don't expect him just to just fit right in, If he fits just right and perfectly, it's just like, I feel like if you fit too perfect, it might be kind of like sketch or something. I don't know, but I don't want you just to just fit perfectly on like in, because I don't know. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Now, all right, this is the subsequent question. So, like, if you bring him around your family, and your family is like, I don't know about this one, Lex. I think you kind of missed here.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be even maybe not like definitive, but is that something you got to take into consideration?
Most definitely. I feel like, I mean, your family knows you best, and they have your best. You know, they want the best for you at the end of the day, and
right.
I feel like,
right.
I think it's something that I would keep in my back pocket to be aware of, and just kind of really like pay attention to. So I feel like a family member might be like, oh well, he does this, this, and this, and if you really love somebody or care about them, it just might go over your head. And so I feel like once we got back to just it being me and him, I would really just pay attention to see if I noticed those things that my family might have talked about. And if it's something that I'm like, oh wow, like they are right, he does do this, and this is a red flag, I might definitely take it into consideration and bring it up and like talk about it. But I definitely wouldn't let it just instantly just, oh well, my family doesn't like you and they don't like this, and just end it. I want us to just figure out what I missed and how I missed it, and how we can maybe just fix it and it be better. But I think that's definitely important. I feel like whenever you do care about somebody and you are in love with somebody, there's a lot of like little things that you might miss that your family might catch it. And I think it's good to know those things if there is any, because you don't realize certain things whenever you're with that person until your family is like, oh yeah, didn't know, this is not it. And a lot of times it's hard too, because it's like, you have some family members where it's like, they don't realize like what you and that person might have. So it's kind of hard to sit here and like fully take on their criticism for someone that you do care about. So it's like, are they just making things up, or is it really a thing that they see that he's not for me? So I don't know. I think that's definitely something I would take into consideration if they came to me and were like, oh well, he's not it. So like I said, I would literally go back into our space, and I would really pay attention to the things that they had mentioned, and just see where we could either fix it and just talk about it. And if he's just like, oh well no, and just like goes in denial mode, and it's like he doesn't think those things are not okay, then probably taken into consideration about what we have going on.
And kind of going off that, so like our family know us as one person, and our friends know of us as like a somewhat different person. Like
absolutely,
you're the same person, but it's like two different people. Whose opinion would mean more to you regarding like a significant other, or do they mean about the same?
That's hard. That's so hard. Honestly, that's a good question. That's hard. I think a little bit of both. Because I think your friends really see like your true colors, and you being you, and you able to just like open, like be a open butterfly, and then with your family, it's like kind of you're yourself, but you're yourself, but not completely yourself. Yeah. So I think it's good to take both opinions from both sides, but I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. I think you don't want to go completely off family, because like at the end of the day, it's like your family knows you, but they don't really know who you truly are whenever you're out with your friends, having a good time, being yourself. And then it's like, you don't want to take all your friends, thoughts. It's just like, okay, I don't want it to just be like, oh, well, he just needs to be about partying and good time and stuff, because he still needs to have like that family dynamic too at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I think definitely a little bit of both is good. More so, I feel like more so like friends in a sense, because they see how things affect you, and you're more open with your friends than probably your family. Like you probably talk to your friends more about certain things that bother you or you don't like more than your family, because I mean, at least I do. I talk to my sister and my friends more about things than my people. Because they're gonna be like, oh no, like just negative, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to hear negative. I just want to hear a little bit of something.
Yeah,
but that was a good question.
I don't know either. I want to say family, but I also want to say friends. I don't know, because like socially, my friends would like know who I am socially, whereas like my family, who they only kind of see me in like short stints here and there.
Right.
You probably talk to your friends a little bit more just because you're around them. They can see you interact and things like that. So I don't know either.
Brian, here's the long and short of the question for you. If you bring her home and your mama don't like her, how long is she gonna last?
Yeah. So because I've heard, moms know. So say if you do bring a girl home, or say if I bring a guy home and the mom's like, no, like they're not for you. How do you even go about that when you say you have spent 2 years with her or him, and your mom's like, no, like then what? You just are you done? Like, like that's hard.
With my mom, because like she doesn't just hate a lot of people or just like no. So if my mom said, they probably got 3 months left. Max.
3 months?
Max.
Just 3 months. Yeah, slowly but surely you got to cut it off just a little bit better.
Yeah. If my mom doesn't like you, it's over for you.
Sheesh.
Yeah, man, I'm in the same boat, man.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can't even cap.
I was
3 months as a max I'm glad you said max, because it probably ain't gonna last.
Probably gonna be 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Like, look, here's the deal. This is not gonna work out. I still want to be friends with you, but I just don't see this going any further. Just cut it off, I guess.
Yeah, that's tough to go against right there.
Yeah, especially after 2 years. I mean, 2 years with somebody, I mean, that's a lot of time invested, just, days, like money involved with that person. You sit here and poured yourself out to somebody, and then you just gotta, like, they know half your secrets, so it's just like, dang, that's tough.
But if they're not the one, they're not the one, so they gotta go.
They gotta go.
Thanks.
That's heart-wrenching. That's ooh.
I'm all for it.
Bless them.
So yet again, take your time. Bringing somebody home for the holidays. Don't rush it. Don't bring somebody home or somebody different home every year. Don't be in the pictures if you're going to somebody else's house for the first time. So we got a good set of rules for y'all to follow going into your holiday travels. But kind of transitioning off of that, we got to talk about you, Miss Alexa, and the music industry, because this is just what comes to my head. I was looking through Instagram one day, and of course I saw you, but this is how I knew, like, music industry, like you were serious, like music industry. I was like, is that Johnny Dang? That's Johnny Dang that she's with. Like she's with like the guy that a bunch of people that I'd never seen him. I didn't know what he looked like, but I was like, oh no, that's her, and that's Johnny. Oh, okay, so this is serious. Like this is for real. So talk, if you would, a little bit about just your experiences and how it's been, over the course of your time.
So a woman in a man's dominant job industry. So being a woman in a man dominant industry, it's very, I don't want to say intimidating. I think it's very more so like know your place kind of thing. And I don't even want to like say that to be, degrading to women about being submissive or whatever. It's just more so like, especially in the music industry, you deal with a lot of people who are just whim off their hat. Like they're just like finesse. I mean, you like there's just no like you can't sit here and just well, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like this, it's not that. It's more so like an assistant place kind of thing, and that's kind of like what I do. I'm an assistant for them, and so it's not hard. I think it's just being ahead of it, and then just knowing what and where you stand. Just being in the cut. It is kind of hard and intimidating in a way, because it's just like I don't want to do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing. Because like I said, I mean, in the music industry, rappers are very like gung ho, like you can't just do whatever you want, and they have a lot to say. But it's fun though. Like I definitely I enjoy it. I love music, so working in an industry, it that has music, something that I enjoy. I love it. I don't have any complaints. It's you definitely got to be careful, because like I said, being a woman in a man dominant industry, you can't just be wherever. You gotta dress appropriately. You don't want to sit here and be eye candy. Like that's like a lot of females will try to get in that industry and try to be cute and whatever, and it's like no, like you can't sit here and do that, because at the end of the day it's business. It's business, but it's fun. Like I enjoy it. And I grew up with all boys, so in the sense I kind of relate a little bit and just know and how I need to move when it comes to that in the man dominant industry. But it's fun. Like I enjoy it. I have a great time. I meet a lot of people. I travel a lot. Yeah, my mom's coming in right now. So.
You're all good. Is it what you imagined?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I think it is, honestly. I think so. Like for like as far as finesse, so say like he likes it. Like he'll do 4 or 5 songs, right? And I've learned very quickly, once he is like ready to go, is ready to go. So I think of it as like I try to be 5 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead of everything what they're doing. So say, if he's on his last song, I'll go ahead and get in the car, get things ready. And that way, they're not having to wait on me, because they're not going to wait on nobody, whether you're working with them or not. They're not going to wait on you. I don't know if I answered your question. I got distracted. But yeah, it's fun. It's everything that I thought it would be. I've learned a lot, and I learn more each and every day. Just about learning about your artist, knowing of what they like, what they don't like. Maybe their needs. Like they might want a towel on stage. They might want things done at a certain time in this way. So you got to make sure those things are done, and they shouldn't even have to ask you. Like it's one of those things where it's like it's done. they don't have to be like, hey Alexa, like where's this or where's that. Like if they have to ask you any of those questions, like you're not doing your job, because that's what you're hired for. Like they shouldn't have to worry about any of that stuff. So yeah.
So now my question is kind of a stupid one. At any point, like in your time, have you gotten like, is there anybody that you've met that you've been like, oh, that's her or that's him? Like, have you gotten starstruck at any point?
Probably. I think the old man, like Jay Prince, like that was a pretty like dope moment, because he's so smart. Like I could sit here and listen to him talk for hours, because he's so smart, he's so wise, he knows what he's talking about, and it's just like one of those things where like he's not like arrogant, like he doesn't talk a lot, like he's very subtle and humble. I'm like, if you watching his interviews, like he really talks like that in person. Like he's very like chill and calm. It's just like you're so calm and chill, you know. But he's so smart. I think that was like one of the big moments. And I've met a lot of people, but that was like one of like most biggest moments I have probably ever had. Because it's like he's an OG. Like he's an OG. So like that was pretty cool, I would say. But that was one of my favorites. He's a G. Like he's so smart, and yeah, he knows so much about the industry. And like I think his biggest thing was, you know, if you don't ask, you know, you're not gonna learn. You know, if you have the resources, it's always good to ask and learn. You know, it doesn't hurt to ask somebody, because closed mouths don't get fed. And that was his biggest thing. Working for Christian Irving, his finesse manager at the time. And he told Christian, he was like, you know, you don't know because you don't ask. And he's like, you have to ask, like no matter how uncomfortable it is. If you have the resources, always ask, because you're not gonna learn that way. But yeah, I would say that was a pretty cool moment myself. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's so smart. Like he's so smart.
Dang, that's dope. That's awesome.
Nice though, yeah. I'm trying to think who else. So him and I think Gucci Mane too was pretty cool. Gucci Mane, that was pretty cool. He didn't talk much though, so I think those two are probably like the most iconic people you could probably meet, as far as just because there's like those are like probably the biggest people in the rap game, historical wise. Yeah. I would say, in a sense.
Two of the biggest for sure.
And kind of going off of that, talk about how if you don't ask, you can't learn. When you first started, you really don't know how he wants to go about things. How did you learn quickly, like to basically figure everything out when you're in a position like that?
Oh, Finesse gonna let you know. He's gonna let you know, like, and it's just like little things, like a tell, you know, he knows what he likes. He says it from the jump how he likes things. So, you know, it wasn't even like a question. Like he knows what he likes. He's gonna tell you 100 times. And you know, working for Christian, he told me, you know, Finesse likes this and this and this. He likes it this way, no other way. So I kind of already knew ahead of time, like what he liked, what he didn't like, what to do, what not to do. How, you know, just like little things. You know, I didn't know a lot, but I was able to get told either by Christian or Finesse. Yeah. Offered quite frankly, very quickly, of how things needed to go and how he moved. So it wasn't really like, you know, oh, I'm going in this like not really knowing. I kind of had an idea just from other people telling me and just by hearing from Finesse.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool.
You talked a little bit about just like mistakes that you've seen like some other women in the industry make. Do you run into a lot of them, or does it seem like, and obviously, you know, you talked about how it was dominated by males. It kind of as you would think, you know, just as in the circles that you're moving in. Do you run into like maybe a lot's not the word, but running into women in the industry? Talk about that a little bit, if you will.
I don't honestly run into a lot of women, and like at least the people who I was working for, like, you know, there's not a lot of women, you know. There would be like one or two female artists that would be around us every once in a while. I think the biggest thing that women have a mistake in that industry is just like losing track and thinking of it all like, oh, it's a party, you know, it's all fun and games, you know, we sit here and drink every night, smoke every night, go out party and like mess around with people. I think that's like where females mess up in the industry, is just they lose track of, like, at the end of the day, like, it's still work. Like, it's fun, yeah, but at the end of the day, like, it's still work. You can't sit here and get drunk every night. You can't sit here and just mess around with all these men. Like, you're around a lot of men, you know, and a lot of men do try to like talk to you, but it's like you can't, because this is what's paying the bills. This is how I'm getting money, you know. So it's like you can't sit here and lose track of what you're trying to get to, like your goals. And like there just isn't a lot of women. I think men don't want women in that industry, honestly. I think they're like, oh no, like it's a distraction, which is fair, you know, like it's definitely understandable, but like I never really saw women in that industry unless it was like an artist. And even then, you know, it's like they're busy, they're writing, working in the studio, you know, like I was a lot of the time the only female with them. So, you know, it was what it was, but it was fun, you know, like I was already pretty cool with some of the people that I was always like working with. So, you know, I was already kind of comfortable, and so it wasn't like, oh, I'm just with all these random people, you know. It was like, okay, I already know them. I know them previously. So I was comfortable in a sense, but yeah, like as far as women, being around other women, like, no. It just wasn't like it's no. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, that makes it all the more impressive just with the circumstances that you're dealing with. I figure that's got to be difficult, but, you know, just finding your niche. And like you said, you know, just knowing how to navigate it. You know, that's.
Yeah. You it can be intimidating. You do see a lot of crazy things and witness a lot of, like, you know, you see it all. like you really see it all. But like I said, I mean, that's just what comes with it. I mean, you know what you sign up for at the end of the day, and it's either you handle it, or either you can handle it or you can't. Like, straight up, like it's no in between. Like, it's either you can handle it and be a businesswoman, or you can be like, oh well, I'm not really sure, like I'm not comfortable with this, and this is kind of weird, and this, I don't like this. You can handle it like that. You're not cut. You're not cut like that. You're not. It's not what you're supposed to be doing. But fortunately, like, you know, I enjoy it. I have a good time. I meet a lot of people, and it's just like, it's like some like movie stuff. Like it's some movie. I want to say that's where it's like a movie, like straight up. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I tell y'all, I've seen some crazy things. But I just mind my business, you know. I just mind my business. I swear. I swear.
Well, that's kind of the perfect segue, because we're gonna talk about a little bit of business in this next one. Like I said, I took this from you. You put this on your Instagram the other day.
Yes.
And I forget how you worded it, but it was just like, should you tell your new boo thing about your old boo thing? Should you tell your new one about all the stuff that you did, all the people that you know made just friends with in whatever way, shape, or form before? So let's start with your take on it because you I don't even think I saw your take on it. I saw
Me?
because I voted, he voted.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we got your take on it. So we'll start with you, being that you're the guest.
Okay. So, my take on whether or not you should bring your partner or tell your partner about past stuff is I think no, because I don't think you should unless they ask. Because I feel like you don't want to just volunteer that information because it's like, okay, like why are you just volunteering like that information to me? I think if they ask, most definitely you should tell them, but I don't think you should tell your partner about, your past unless it's like they have mutual friends and you're gonna see them on the regular. So I don't know. I don't think you should say anything unless unless they see each other on the regular. Yeah, like be like, hey, yeah, whoop whoop. I talk to them and whatnot. That way it leaves them the choice if they want to still talk to you. But at the end of the day, it's like hard too because it's like if you're so invested and it's like and it comes out later, you don't want them to be like, oh, well, why didn't you tell me? And it's like, damn, like I'm kind of caught in the position to like I look bad kind of thing. But I don't think you should say anything honestly unless it affects what y'all have going on now. They see them on the regular. But I think that if they ask, most definitely you should be honest with them.
Right. Go ahead. I could see you was itching to get on.
Yeah, man. Mine is you probably shouldn't tell, but if they ask, it depends on if you should tell it. No, it depends on if you should tell or not.
Oh, okay.
If they are asking in a way that's like attacking you to like, oh, were you with blah, 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 and saying like, to get at, like it's in an argument they ask you, you never tell. But if it's just like, if it's like just y'all sitting there talking and it's just like, oh, so just like, it's just not adversarial in nature and they're just talking to you like, hey, I want to know this. I think, sure, you can go ahead and tell. But I don't think you're obligated to tell because at the end of the day, the past is the past. Everybody has moved on. And then also, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Because if you ask me a question, you're gonna get mad about the answer. Why you ask?
You're gonna be crying and throwing up. You asked the wrong one.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's the past, like it's the past. We can't. I mean, one thing I learned about being in the industry, or just in general, like the world is so small. So one way or another, we're gonna know somebody who messed around with somebody. Like that's just what it is. It's like I said, it's just a small world. But the past is the past, and you can't change it. And even if I do tell you, that's up to you whether or not you still want to talk to me. But you just can't change it. It's the past. Yeah. But dang, yeah, I just say you can't ask no questions you don't want the answer to, because we've all done some crazy things, So, yeah. Damani, what's your thought?
I see. I'm where you at. I don't know. Like, why would you just volunteer that? Like, who in their right minds would just walk up and be like, hey, just so you know, no, I ain't doing that. But I think, yeah, if they ask, you should be able to, tell them.
For what?
But, see, Byron, I think this is the craziest thing about what you said. I really got to get to what you said, because you said if it's in an argument, then you got to deny it. But if it's in an argument, then she already knows something. So that's why you denying it?
She most definitely knows.
It's the principle at that point.
If she's adamant and she already knows. One thing about females, we do our research.
Mm-hmm.
We do our research. We will search. It's I'm just saying, it's so easy to figure out who a guy is talking to, flirting with. It's social media. Let's go back to the first question. Social media has literally made it so easy to be sneaky and do certain things, and it's just Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, hold on, Lex. I forgot about this. You said something before we got on air. You said somebody, like a certain demographic of people, is sneaky with the social media stuff.
Yes.
Who is that?
Both.
Oh,
Okay, no. I say no. Wait, hold on. Okay, so
go ahead.
I did say men are sneaky. Like men are very sneaky, and I don't know if it's just because like men are the type to sit here and do something, and we'll sit here and find like evidence in a sense, and they'll deny it, and it's just like, why is you denying it? Like I already know. I already have proof. I already know in a sense because women really do have intuition.
Or does that make us stupid?
Huh?
I said, does that make us sneaky or does that make us stupid?
Because both. Y'all both sneaky and stupid. Like y'all, like I don't know. Like I'm not trying to bag on men, but I'm saying like something just does not click with y'all's mind where y'all don't really like don't get it. And I know both of y'all are like stupid smart, like great, like not stupid, but y'all like smart. But I'm just saying, like,
he not.
It's like y'all sit here and try to deny, but when I like with the poll thing. So what's crazy with the poll? More women said no than men. More men said yes, tell, and a lot of women were like, no, don't tell. Mm-hmm. So that made it like so. No, women and men are both sneaky, and I see a lot of comments saying like, you know, women are better at hiding things and with being sneaky, you know, which like, you know, is kind of true in a sense, you know, whatever. But I'm just going to say men are like, both men and women are both sneaky, but I feel like men don't know how to hide it as well as women.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that don't make us sneaky. I think to be sneaky, you got to be good at it. And I think that's kind of what separates.
And men are not good at it.
Yeah, because I got actually I wouldn't say his name, but I got a homeboy that you know that I was in high school with that I used to, you know, he would send me a text like twice a week and say, hey bro, you gotta text my girl and let her know that you was on my phone and you was texting her, you know, just making a joke, just being funny. So like that was I can't believe that it worked, but it was just like that's just dumb. Like that's just dumb. That's dumb stuff. But we're simpler creatures they are. That's why the women scare the heck out of me, because in terms of being sneaky, y'all are like the experts. Y'all are the ones that we need to be taking notes from.
I'll give y'all that. Like I would say like women are definitely like more sneaky, you know, like I had a homegirl show me how to, it sounds so bad. I had a homegirl show me how you turn off your location without showing that you stopped sharing your location with somebody.
What?
So yeah. So like, say if I share my location with you, I'm not gonna tell you how to do it, but you go in your settings and YouTube, whatever, and it literally stops sharing your location with. Granted, I mean it's with everybody, not just that one person, but with everybody without actually showing them that you stopped sharing your location. Oh, a female showed me that. Yep. Not a guy, a woman. Yeah.
Because a guy wouldn't know how to do nothing like that.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, to your point, like, women are definitely more sneaky in a sense. But I feel like we definitely, like, we love harder, but we definitely know the tricks and stuff. Y'all are sneaky, too. Y'all just don't think in depth what to do.
Dude would and y'all just falling in the bushes or something before he did something like that.
Y'all get caught.
Do women love harder, though?
Do what?
Here we go.
I don't know if women love harder. I think when a guy is like really in love, he goes above and beyond. And I think he goes a little bit further than women.
I cannot agree with that because
I think women fall quicker though.
Women definitely fall quicker. As far as like falling hard, I think that's just depends on the person. 'Cause you can be with a man and like you can love him more. I think men can't deal with the heartbreak. I think men don't know how to handle getting hurt. We can handle the hurt. Y'all cannot handle the hurt. And then y'all go out and do whatever y'all want to do, and then you feel nothing, no better.
And I think that's why your poll is the way it is.
Right, correct.
Because
yeah.
Women know that if a man will go like do some drastic measures based on what he finds out, whereas a woman can be more accepting and like, okay, that's past, and they can like see it more clearly.
Yeah.
A guy just sees like red and like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. And what my cousin had actually said, no, don't tell, because she had mentioned that, say if if a woman did come to you and say, hey, I did do this and this and this, a man's not gonna want to sit here and like still deal with that female 9 times out of 10 still. Like he's just gonna be like, no, like, I know her past. I've known what she's done. Like he doesn't want to deal with her no more. And that's what my cousin was saying. She's like, every time I've told someone, I've done X, Y, and Z, he has an attitude and he doesn't want to talk to me no more. So, but that's why I'm just like really confused. Like, why more men said yes? Like, do y'all really want to know the answer to what we have done?
Nope.
So.
Or y'all just nosy, like
no, they want to know up front. They don't want to be like, men don't want to be in the dark. And so once they find out something, they like, okay, I've been played this whole entire time. Is how they feel. So if they know it up front,
you would want us to tell you.
What
we want great answers. Is what we want. A+ answers. That's it. It's just, you got a certain. This is what I think. I think you got a certain set of thoughts that you have, like, and you want them thoughts to be confirmed, no matter how stupid, no matter how unrealistic your expectations may be. But then when them expectations just aren't, I don't want to say expectations met because that sounds like it's realistic. But even like if I think everything is butterflies, rainbows, beautiful, just like the best possible like conception of what could be in my mind, and then end up being less than that, and they're like, oh, like this. I think that's why. But that's just me. I don't know.
So could you talk to a female that had like a crazy past? Like you were just head over heels for her and she just had a really crazy past. Would you still be able to like, like it's now, like it's not the past anymore?
Oh man. How deep am I into it?
Like, like you are like thinking, oh yeah, like she might be the one. Deep into it.
Okay. I have a couple questions before I answer this question.
Okay.
Can I say yes before he digs himself in there? I'm gonna say yes, and then go ahead. You got it. Just go ahead. I'm gonna say yes. I could.
Do my friends know of her past?
They might.
My answer is no.
Well, whether or not yes or no, like yes, like yeah. I mean, actually, you know what? So it just depends. Is she a local? Like do people already know her? Because say if you don't know her, say if you were out of the town, you met this girl, and you're head over heels for her, and she might be the one, and you meet her friends, and it's perfect, and you find out about her past later. So either or. I mean, it's still a past.
Yeah, but it's different once someone like brings it up to you that's like not in the relationship. I feel
before she does.
Yeah, or even if I just don't like people having something over me. It's my thing.
Okay.
And so if I feel like somebody has something over me, I feel some type of way about it. So that's why my answer is the way it is.
So you wouldn't want to talk to her?
If it's a crazy past, like you said, I'm not gonna define what I define as a crazy past.
Like she outside, like
them streets.
If she has a crazy past, I'm good. Like I don't think less of her. Mm-hmm. I'm just good.
You still gonna mess around with her?
I don't know about that.
So she's the one. You found out about her past before her telling you. You just not talk to her no more.
Well, okay. This goes into like a second question.
Okay.
How many of like our characteristics? What percentage of everything that we want in someone makes them the one? Because I can't define what a crazy past define, like what percentage that would be.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think got. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
I was gonna say, no, like it's to a point where like you want to be with her for the rest of your life, type thing.
Actually, I'm gonna change my answer. If she is the one, based like how I feel about the one, like if they're the one, I would be okay with it.
Okay.
If they're the one, it has to be the one.
He's the one.
Can't be the 2, can't be the 3, can't be the 10. It has to be the one.
The one.
I would be okay with it.
Okay. So at that point, so if someone told you before she did, would you bring it up to her or would you wait for her to tell you?
I'm never bringing it up.
But like, how can like, I understand that, but like you got to communicate it, but like, yo, like, so-and-so was saying this, like, is it true? This is gonna sit. You're just been thinking about the whole time. Like, you're not gonna go crazy.
No, because in my mind, I can say, I will be able to blindly say that maybe it's not true, and I'm fine with it. It may be true, but at the end of the day, it's still 50-50, just like with everybody. Like for the most part, you don't know everything a person has done,
right?
So I feel like I'm in the same boat. So I'm just gonna mind my business and keep it moving.
Some folks be lying.
Yeah.
Some people don't actually know the real story.
A lot of people are out here lying.
That is true.
Damani, your intake on this?
I think my like. First of all, what did I say? I forgot what the question was, but I'm in the camp like I would be with her if she was the one. I don't remember if that's yes or no to the question, but I would.
Yeah. If she just has like a rough pass, like she was outside,
I would be with her if she was the one. Now, I feel what Byron's saying because like if people I know that's harder. If like people from her past are people that I know, that's harder. But that being said, I just think like with the passing of time, like your intentions can change, your perspectives can change, but I think like the people at their core, like that's the hardest thing, one, to change, and two, to find.
Right.
So if you find a person that is like they're for you, they're really, really for you, then there's a bunch of stuff that I'd say matters a little bit, like that. Money matters a little bit. Their situation with their family matters a little bit. Just stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it is way too hard to find like people for that to be like it, for that to be a disqualifying factor, because it's something that matters a little bit. It's just not something that matters that much.
Yeah.
And like I said, I get what you're saying. It's going to be more difficult. We both have a friend that we was just talking about this week and saying like he was saying that there was no way, but yeah, I'm not in that camp. So I'm.
Are you going to clarify it with her?
Am I going to clarify it?
Yeah, you going to ask her about it? So.
You going to bring it up? Or are you going to just let it, put it like...
It's not a hard question, man.
It is a hard question.
You can't decide, doesn't know.
Yeah, I'll ask. And then
what if she lies and says no?
I would be so happy. I would be so happy. That's the best thing that you could do. Lie to me. Lie to me, please. That's the best thing that could happen in that scenario. But I mean, like I said, if something matters a little bit, it's not gonna matter a lot. I'm gonna take my evening to listen to some Drake and just stare at a wall, and I'm gonna be cool going forward.
Not listen to Drake and stand on the wall. Mm-hmm. I'm crying. So at the end of the day, y'all, yes, no, as far as knowing a girl's past. You're just not dating someone you don't want to know.
Nope.
I want to know what's relevant to my life. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be just like kind of like you said, because I don't want to just like be moving around, like not knowing things that could impact my interactions, like with people that I'm gonna see. That's the only reason I want to know.
I agree with that. Like you got homeboy who you used to date or whatever, and he just all in my face all the time, and y'all texting every day. That's some relevant information.
Like I don't want to.
Yes, I agree with that. Okay, I have one last question.
Go ahead.
So okay, this is for men. Okay, so say if a girl says I'm done. Me and my homegirl were talking about this the other night. So say if you are kind of telling this guy, oh, I'm done, like I don't want to do this anymore, and I don't feel like how this is gonna work out, and a lot of times men don't like reciprocate the same thing. Why don't men try to fight for us? I would say like y'all kind of just like, okay, like that's fine. Like y'all kind of like done too. Like once we say we're kind of over everything, why a lot of times, why don't y'all try to pursue us still, or just try to see if we want to?
Yeah, I'll take this one. So imagine. So let's think about it this way. If I just like lost a fight, right? So I got into a fight with somebody, and I lost. Like I lost the fight. Now the same people are around that saw me get beat up the first time, right? I walk back, no weapons, no plan as to how it's gonna go differently. I fight them again, and I get whooped even worse. Yeah, I should have just walked away when the first fight happened, right? Like I should have just gone ahead and I should have took that one L and not let it turn into two. That's like taking two L's. If you say one, all right, we through, and then two, nah, I mean all that talking that you're doing, that my mind is made up. Go ahead and get out of my face. I just took two L. Well, I could just took one.
But what if we want you to like try, just try to, you know?
I don't like tests. Is my thing. So I feel like that is a test. If you cut it off with me, but at the end of the day, in the back of your mind, you just want me to fight for you, you shouldn't have cut it off with me, is how I think.
What? Me and my homegirl was not saying that. We were saying a lot of times people might say things just to see if you'll actually like fight for us and not let us leave you. To see, like, hey, I'm sorry, I'll do better this time.
But isn't that kind of? We'll put it to you this way: if we adults, can't we just have that conversation though? Can't you just be like, hey, you did something that hurt me. Mm-hmm. I wasn't like we weren't on the same wavelength here, but at the end of the day, like you hurt my feelings. And then at that point I have the choice of being like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I hurt your feelings. I do my best to like do better going forward, versus you packing a bag and doing all the like the optics of saying, hey, yo, I'm out of here.
I'm leaving.
And then we gotta decide like if we're gonna beg basically or if we're gonna just take the L.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I wanted to get y'all's opinion on that because me and my homegirl were like talking about that last night actually, and we're like a lot of times like we might say certain things like we might be upset. Why don't y'all just try to like stop us and try to like I guess, rescue us in a sense.
Also, sometimes we think the grass is greener. They want that little bit of freedom. Like, I wouldn't have to deal with all this if I was just single or if I was just by myself again. Then they get back out there and then it hits them like a month later, 2 months later. Oh, I missed out on a good thing. And then at that point, it's too late.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good answer. I just wanted to ask that little question right there. I was just curious what y'all would say.
Well, we have gotten an exceptional perspective from Miss Alexa Perry. We appreciate you being with us. We need to have you back, matter of fact. We got to have way more representation on this show than just me and him, especially because I can't stand him half the time. But we appreciate y'all rocking with us for 50 episodes. Like I said, 2,000 plays on the audio. Not sure how many we've done on YouTube, but to our listeners, we appreciate y'all very much so. Couldn't have done it without you. Heart goes out to y'all. And by this milestone, with this milestone, I'm trying to think of what I can commit to. We're gonna do this merch thing. We're gonna do this merch. Chris Redmond has been in my DMs talking to me about merch for 2 years now. I need to get on the merchandise side of it. So we're gonna get right on that. But subscribe, leave a comment, do whatever you like in that regard. Our man Show Thief is gonna play us out. Brian, you got anything else for the people?
We appreciate y'all. We appreciate you, Alexa. And y'all have
Thanks
a good one.
for having me. No, I had fun.
Get out of here.
We can do this again.
When you make it through the struggle, you the truth. When that pressure get applied, is you gon' pass it, you gon' shoot. I stood tall. When you make it through the struggle and the pain, do you get your umbrella off the chance that it might rain? I stood tall. Ooh, I stood tall. Ooh, I stood tall. Ooh, you could try to count me out, but you ain't gon' ever hold me down. When I see my people going through it, I put the blame on me. And I see my homie lose his mind, but I gave him his first taste of lean. I ain't gon' lie, that really hurt me, but I had to close the curtains. And one thing I learned on Lion King is everybody gotta eat. Never tell a party, let me get a whole piece. And nah, little homie, can't get that from me. You play football, you got a bright future, you supposed to see you on the TV. And I said that's true, and I'm gon' do it, but I really gotta make something happen. And I probably could've asked my family for something, but instead I started hitting licks with daddy. I ain't gon' lie, that turned me to a savage. Really living life like a bandit. And then Murph told me, keep your head on, man, don't do nothing reckless. But now I'm older now, I'm a grown man. Go to church every Sunday, I'm a praying man. You ain't gonna never see me fall, I'm always standing. One thing I do is stick to the plan.